a fucking archipelago. All right, I'm being a dick.
Okay. Still waiting on Cuya. He'll be here shortly. I'm gonna take some swigs of my tea here.
Yo,
Hey, there he is. How goes it?
I think I'm not sure, but I think hey,
Mm-hmm. What's up?
I'm well. First of all, I'm making sure that I disactivated my camera,
Yeah,
uh, which I did.
right on.
I think something is anyway. Sorry,
Oh, no
I
worries.
was paying attention, but also Discord. Now I'm not sure, but I think Discord used to. I used to know when you would pop into the voice line. There used to be a little,
Huh.
like a little live icon next to your face, but now,
I don't get it. There's no live icon next to it. That's weird.
yeah, yeah. Well, now there's a picture of a video camera, even though my video isn't here. Let me make sure
Hmm. Yeah, no worries, dude.
it's deactivated. Let me just take a look at what the settings say. Who knows when Discord or Windows or something decides to
Just up
update
in the air.
everybody's settings.
Mm-hmm. It does like to do that, doesn't it?
I think this is the correct webcam. I don't even know what they're called. Huh. Well,
uh-oh. It isn't.
yeah, Discord doesn't seem to like me today.
Well, what the hell? That's not good. What's up with that?
Everything. Because normally, you've seen it happen before when it's just those blue squares spinning around, and then I go, oh, wait, I forgot to do a thing. And then
Yeah.
I go and make sure the camera's deactivated in OBS, which is what I'm checking on for a third time. It says I'm activating it and deactivating it. And now I should be able to join you and spinning squares. I'm gonna close Discord and restart Discord.
Alright, do it up. No worries.
That's yeah.
Not a problem.
This is like the old days
The days of yore.
when nothing would ever work.
Nope. Never
Alright, be
does.
right back.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Um, I was gonna say, I think I left you with the lobby music long enough. Let's see here. There he
Hey,
is. Well, looky there who it is. What's up, dude?
what's going on?
It goes mon frere. It goes just shaking the wiggles out. My sleep schedule's for shit, dude. Like I like
Oh my god, what's going on?
yeah, dude. Like I've been staying like so like last night I I try to be reasonable. I go to sleep at around like midnight. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I wake up at around 3 and I'm up until like 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
And I fall back
yeah, I
asleep.
know about that one.
And I fall back asleep and then I wake up at like 2 and I barely get myself out of bed by 3:30. Like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah, that sucks. I know that one. I'm very familiar with that one.
It's a weird one. So I don't know. I've been
They call that the ridiculous morning nap.
the ridiculous morning nap. Yeah. Again, I'm hoping that I'll have like a. I've been still trying to reset it, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it. I gotta like really knock myself out
It
to.
comes and goes. I feel like, yeah, I feel like you know,
Mm,
I feel like you'll get back to it.
it just takes time. But yeah, I'm stoked for the show today, man. That that was some fucking weird shit. That was a weird ass movie. And I'm
It
stoked that
was
we're talking
it
about it.
was it was weirder than I remembered it being even.
I know, it was very unsettling.
Mhm.
But I don't know, I guess oh it is past time. You ready to roll in?
Yeah, I totally forgot what I was in addition to Discord not
Oh,
working. I totally
I
forgot
was
what
gonna say
was even happening.
I was watching that Minecraft play. Dude, what sweet hell did you walk into? It was like part farm, part like zombie farm. Were you guys farming zombies or animals down there? Or did it just so happen that they were all down there?
It just kind of happened that I was building. I kind of sealed off an area with dirt, and it kind of just
Oh.
happened that a lot of things ended up trapped in there.
So,
And then like I
mm,
started building on top of it, and
so,
so like
mm,
there's
okay.
less zombies in there now because they all saw me and came out the one entrance.
I saw that. The way they get rid of that is you throw some torches in there. If you have like a particular amount of light within an area in Minecraft, you can stop the
Oh,
spawning
they'll go
of
away.
you'll stop the
Okay.
spawning of the bad dudes, and then you can keep your
Yeah,
little
because they're probably
farm.
just spawning down there in the darkness.
Yeah, that's why I thought you were trying to do is make a like an XP farm, if you will.
No, I really do not know
Uh,
anything still.
well,
So everything I'm doing is just
I still need to
not
figure
intentional, I guess. That's all.
I still need to figure out the server shit, dude.
I'll look tomorrow. I'll make it. I have a list of things to like check on tomorrow.
right on, dude. Now and like for real, like I'm gonna set my alarm tomorrow and actually wake up at a reasonable time. Just let me know and I'll be up. We'll jam it
Oh,
out.
oh, to play Minecraft.
Well, I meant like you said you wanted to go over a couple of things
Oh,
of how to
yeah.
fix stuff, but yeah, but
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, I figure I just meant during the day tomorrow, during my other checklist stuff, that I would look at the
oh
internet and see what it said about how to do it.
yeah, if you happen to like,
But I mean, I'll let you know if
but
I need you. I will.
yes, well, I was gonna say if I
I'll get you.
if you happen to figure it out for yourself too, please let me know because
Yeah.
that was stupid to read through. I feel like so technologically behind.
Sometimes you plan on doing some internet thing and you go and actually look at it and you're like, oh wait, I think I'm not going to figure all of this out right now before doing this thing right now.
No, but anyway, yeah, let's cue the intro. Let's get to chatting. Games afoot. Right on.
What's up? I gotta eat
Hey,
something.
hey, you gotta eat something? Yeah, I made sure to make a sandwich before we started.
I'm totally unprepared. I didn't eat. I didn't see you in the Discord channel.
Dude, not a big deal, man. Like I mean, I guess like if you want to go run and make yourself a sandwich or something like that
No,
quick,
I'm
like
fine. Let's talk about weird shit.
all right, let's do it. I guess we'll start off with greetings, salutations. How goes it, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Thought That Was Weird. I am Thrash K. and of course, here with me, as always, Captain CuyaDK.
What's up?
Uh, yeah, we're just hanging about, and we had a fun little Discord movie night the other night. Uh-oh. Oh, I was wondering what that noise was.
Oh, sorry.
That
Yeah,
that yeah yeah.
my microphone definitely picked that up. It's very loud.
I thought it said
I think
collect
it's like
call.
I'm not even positive what it says, but I guess it's just they want you to be able because you're probably not gonna. It must not be intended for you to turn the lights on if the headphones are on your head because they would blast your fucking eardrums out. Like I feel like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be really loud so you can hear it while you're doing it in your hand, but it shouldn't. That kind of volume shouldn't be coming out of speakers that go next to your head
No, I was gonna say
ever.
those are
It's
blaring.
really ridiculous. Like if I, because I mean, it would kind of it would be hard for me to find the button and figure out how to do it with these on my head. But I think I've done it once and scared the shit out of me at the very least because it's extremely loud if the headphones are on when you turn this on or off.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I I don't know. I haven't had a pair of Bluetooth headphones in a hot minute. I had a really nice pair of I forgot what they were called, but there was some like Japanese brand like just regular Bluetooth headphones, and they were like foldable. You could fold them like fold
Oh
the
yeah,
headband up, and that was
I
awesome.
like that.
That was
Yeah,
cool. That was cool as shit. And they unfortunately the internal battery for the charger. Oh wait, no, the charging port ended up breaking for the headset, so they ended
but
up
it was
eating it.
USB. Is it
Yeah,
USB micro? Is that the one
it
that
was a micro
is that the one that
USB.
always breaks?
Mm-hmm.
Always breaks.
Yep. Micro or the macros. I had a macro USB gaming headset that was also a USB, and it had like a dongle that you could put into your PS4, and it was like perfect. And then
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it eventually ate it due to um yeah the charging port just eating it per usual. But
Yeah, those were it was those that was bad. That was bad tech.
yeah.
Although continuing to redesign the USB every couple of years.
Mhm.
I think the fat one. That's what I think. Let's stick with the fat USB, the
the
really fat one, the one
the
that's almost square.
the USB-C,
Like the one that like my microphone is that what it is? Maybe yeah, I think so, yeah.
the one that's like a long ovular sort of input. Oh, does that make sense? I don't know.
I don't know if I would call it ovular. It's
Was it?
a
It was a square. It was a square one. Are you talking about like the FireWire like square inputs?
it's close to a firewire what I use for my microphone cord, yeah. And
Really?
printers use these as well. The fat USB. It's like it's a
Hmm.
I feel like I should know if you cut like two corners off the top of the square. Like it's like a square but it almost looks like a little house.
Huh.
I'd show it to you but I'd have to unplug my
N-
microphone and then everything would go to
No,
hell.
no, yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah. I don't think I'm familiar with that, but I'll have to look at that. I think I know what you're talking about. But
Oh,
yeah,
there
those.
was an image that
Oh, you got a thing?
No, no, no. But I was it when I'm going to look at Google image search
Hmm.
and um wow, it's not even on this first chart. Uh one of the images I showed you, one of the
Hmm.
images that you have, there's an alternate image that maybe I'll show you. I couldn't decide if it would be appropriate to show the alternate image to one of the ones I sent you. But
I
maybe I'll put it on my stream and I'll let you take a look if you want.
yeah,
USB type B.
B.
If you look up a chart, which actually if you wanted to look at my stream right now, it's the second one on this little chart and it's type B is the one. That's the one as far as
Yeah.
I can tell, it sticks right in there and that one just fits and stays. I haven't had I've had every other type here. I've had shit actually C. Oh no. C is great. I haven't had a problem with C or B. And in fact,
Mm.
no, get A off the table. A is bad. All of the minis and micros are bad. C and B, but really, I think B is what we should stick with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
C is
USB.
not terrible.
So USB. So a USB B.
USB B. USB B.
Cool.
That's my.
Okay.
That's what I say. All right.
I
Totally.
didn't realize that's what they were
Totally. Who
called.
even cares?
Oh.
But
Okay.
USB micro is specifically the worst one. USB micro always breaks.
Mm-hmm.
The inputs specifically, actually, I think even more, not even the male end. It has
Mm.
a lot of them have these two little tiny, these two metal like prongy bumps that are supposed to kind of hold it in, and they always go flat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
They always end up
terrible. Well,
not
absolute bullshit. Yeah,
like after a long
garbage.
while, like after clipping on for so long, being pulled out, it eventually just wears down until it's just completely flat. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that in plenty of
Yeah,
stuff like
and
that.
I have a lot of tech, as you could tell, and that might be it. It might just be that I have a lot of tech that requires that particular USB, and that's why I see them fail a lot and hate it. But it's like that picture of the airplane with all the bullet holes in it.
Mm. Okay. Like again, dude, I'm so technologically far behind. I didn't even realize that there was such discrepancies between USB types.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I, I
I'm very particular about my types of USB. I have big USB opinions.
that's an episode right there. Entire episode on USBs.
My USB opinions.
Oh, you know what? I see you smoking there, and I totally forgot to grab my stuff here. 2 seconds.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Am I supposed to talk about the weird stuff without all the proper weird materials?
Yeah, are you in a weird enough mood?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna try and get a touch weirder so we can get
Are
on with the weird stuff. But I guess
you in a weird enough mood to rescue the president?
man, what was that? Like a weird enough mood to rescue the president?
Yeah, there was. I don't know if I would call this a meme.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a video. I feel like it is. I feel like the thing I'm about to say is a little bit more known than the video game that it comes from. I don't know if it's quite a meme. It might have been too early for that, but it is possible. It's entirely possible that you may even have heard someone once say,
Mm-hmm.
"Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president?" Because that was a line from the video game Bad Dudes that in my life a lot of people have asked, and this again just my experience, and it may just be my idiot group of friends. A lot of people have asked me if I am a bad enough dude to rescue the president.
I've never heard that ever.
Never, you never
That's
had,
so
no
funny
one
to
ever
me.
asked you that. As a young man, no one ever asked you if you were a bad enough dude to rescue the president.
I've had people ask me plenty of weird things before, but they've never asked me if I was bad enough to rescue the president. Um, I don't know. I think I told you the story where a guy tried to give me his gold engagement ring at a bar once. Like
Wow.
because so like when my hair is like shorter, it kind of poofs up in this kind of froey curly hair thing, and
All right.
I get this kind of like Elijah Wood hobbity look according to my friends, and
Okay.
and so uh, just everybody like, and I'm a tiny
Look
guy.
like a hobbit.
I look like a fucking hobbit, and
All right.
I'm sitting at this bar one night. I'm having a drink by myself, and this dude comes up to me, and he's like looking around sketchy. I'm like, what's going on, man? And he goes, "All right, listen, man. I got this ring, okay? I need you to take this to Mount Doom."
No.
And I'm like, "You motherfucker!"
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. I
I
thought it I thought it was I
yeah.
thought it was gonna be some I thought you were gonna tell me it was some weird cuckoldery situation.
Listen, man.
He wants you
Yeah,
carrying
my
around his
wife's got
wedding
a
ring.
thing for J.R.R. Tolkien, and she loves hobbits. So like, go to can you take this and throw it into her Mount Doom if you catch my drift? Yeah, no,
Right,
never,
yes.
never, never happened. Never has happened. Um, yeah, never happened. No, I've always just been mistaken for a wayward hobbit lost in the Shire somewhere. But I'm gonna get this rolling. We're gonna get super weird, and then oh yeah, we got some dads to talk about today, don't we? I think we got some dad issues to
Yeah.
discuss.
I don't even want to talk about Thanos' daddery. I figured that if we were gonna, yeah, but we will talk about dads.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cuya, for those of you who weren't here, um, in fact, the past couple of weeks, we've started a new little segment called "All Dads Are Bad," where Cuya
Yes.
does in-depth looks at every type of father figure from media, and we go on a little deep dive into why this person is particularly bad. And I guess while I take this rip shot, I just cue the intro.
Yeah, let's do
All right, game on. Bad dads. All dads are bad.
it.
Dads are being bad. Super bad dads. All dads are bad. Love that one.
Fucking Jamie Lannister. I can't believe it. I did not do this on purpose, and the ultimate thesis of this entire thing is gonna be I can't believe I managed to figure out a ranking where I'm gonna need to put Jamie Lannister at the top.
Oh, Jamie Lannister.
And it's not like biggest asshole. The worst is at the bottom. The worst dad. He's the best dad out of the bunch. I hate Jamie Lannister.
I've never met somebody with such a deep, like, seated, rooted, this, like, hatred for Jamie Lannister, man.
It's
I'm
like
impressed.
light Turner. Like my people would keep trying to redeem him or say good things about him. People would root for him and or they'd say he's going to be redeemed. You know, he's going to have this redemption arc and I wasn't having it. Fuck both those guys. Neither of them,
Mm,
one of them's not a dad at all.
this is true.
Is there something like Light Turner does something fucked up? Yeah.
He
If
does
you
plenty of
become
fucked up things. Yeah.
he does plenty of fucked up. He does
Yes,
something
and
fucked up to his dad. Uh cuz it's like if you use the Death Note at all or if you have I think if you have the Shinigami eyes maybe
mm-hmm.
uh and you're mortal, when you die your soul is obliviated. If that happens, if
Oh,
you get some of these powers, when you die, you are gone. You know, other souls go to heaven or hell or wherever they go.
mm-hmm.
But
It's just obliterated. There's nothingness.
if you've used any of these powers, you get obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
Which thankfully is what happens to Light Tamagotchi in the end. And the Green Goblin gets to go back to heaven or whatever. Spoilers.
mm.
Uh, yeah, but he does it to his like right before Like his dad's gonna die. I don't know if he tricks. I don't know if his dad dying is probably part of the plan, but he manages to get his dad to like for some reason get that baguette
What?
out of my lap.
What the
For
hell?
some
What is
reason
it?
he like
Baguette. What the hell, Baguette?
that fucking
What are you
that
doing?
is like
Oh, he
first of
just wanted to
all
show you he got
like
liposuction. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here,
I
hey,
don't,
Baguette.
that
Let's
that's
go.
very slimming. The you know
Yes,
the position it was you're there's gonna be some kind of
questionability, but
someone's gonna misinterpret the baguette as some kind of representation of
no.
you know
Baguette is an unrepresented
some
being.
lady just got banned for showing the bottoms of her feet, and I got a baguette in my crotch.
Wait, somebody got banned for showing the bottom of their feet.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was it
Wow.
was one
One of
of
those
those
type.
lady streamers
One of
that's
those types of things. I see.
yeah,
Well,
one of those things.
Baguette. We don't want to show any bottoms of our feet here.
Baguette. Your
So
goddamn
yeah,
weird baguette lips.
we need to go away, Baguette. Sorry. But I'm sorry. Continue, please.
I don't know what I was saying at all.
I didn't mean to fuck it up that bad. I thought you were at the end of your thought there. That's why I threw him out there. Yeah, I'm trying to
Were
make
we
it.
even talking about Thanos yet? We weren't, right?
No, we were talking about
So
like
it doesn't
Shinigami
matter.
or Light
Oh
Turner.
yeah. Oh, basically he tricks his dad into receiving the Shinigami powers or whatever right before his dad's gonna die. Like his dad would have been fine, and Light's like,
Mm,
well, let's make sure dad's soul gets obliviated.
obliviated.
Fuck dad.
Like,
What? Oh my god. Is the Bad Dads podcast a Light Turner thing to do? Light Turner is on my side as far as dads are concerned. Light
oh,
Yamaguchi? Light
yeah,
Yama
you got me.
Yama?
You got me.
Light Yagami. Not
Yeah.
a bad dad. But those two, Jamie doesn't even belong in the dad's ranking. He's not even a bad dad. At the worst, he doesn't give a shit what happens to his kids. At the very worst. He has nothing to do with them.
Mm.
He even might get a little bit sad when some of them die.
Yeah. Yeah. You would hope. But I
The
don't
one
know.
good thing I can say about Jamie Lannister is he's an alright dad, maybe.
Jeez, I need to watch
Light
this
Turner, terrible son, terrible human being, terrible terrorist.
again. Terrible terrorist.
Fucking school shooter ass looking motherfucker, bleached tips.
Damn. Shots across the bow, dude.
Are you super how much about the MC? Do you watch Marvel movies? You watch movies?
You know what?
When they're
Do I
not
watch?
about LSD worms?
Nah, man. Like when it comes to like Marvel movies, like I would say the last comic book movie that I actually went to go see was Joker, actually.
That would have been right before the whole thing, right? Because I haven't
Yeah.
gone to see a movie since 2020.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
fair.
almost
Yeah,
I might go see John Wick 4. I
dude.
might go see I've been I was thinking harder about going to see Avatar. Now I'm thinking less hard about it.
Avatar, like I don't know, in general, like maybe I'm just unfazed by it. It doesn't faze
Absolutely.
me too
It
much.
is the remember what I said about like Foundation and the Lord of the Rings show that everyone's already forgotten about? Like
Yeah.
Avatar, I think is it's like the center pillar of our current like forgettable media tower. All of the media currently being made is being made so fast and digestible and
All
forgettable
right.
and this Avatar, the first Avatar movie might be the central pillar of the whole problem. It might be the whole problem. It might have been the beginning of the whole mess.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Was it 11 years ago? I
It,
mean,
it
really,
it all
things
started.
have been going real downhill since Avatar.
We all
Please.
know that the divergence initially started with the Star Wars Christmas special, and it's just never ended.
Oh, yeah, all media. That really was. That was a dent. That was a corruption. That was a hollowness that crept into all media. after the whole Star
Wars.
More commercialization,
Spaceballs, a
Star
search for more
more
money.
buying. Yes. That guy's making another movie or a series or
Mel
something.
Brooks is still doing shit. That man is like
He's
100
making
years
the
old.
I believe he is making a series for Hulu called The History of the World Part 2. And he's 100.
See, oh wait, I heard that he was working on that.
He's
Oh
still,
God, who's in that?
he's probably not working too hard. He's probably mostly, telling
He's
other
probably
people what
had
to
that
do. Good.
written out
But
for
I
like,
bet, yeah, he probably has. He's probably had these scripts, yeah.
two TV series. Johnny Knoxville, Gary
Awesome.
Nguyen, David Stassen, Dove Cameron. I have no idea who Dove Cameron is.
No,
Zazie Beats. Who?
I
Okay.
don't know those names.
I mean, I know Johnny Knoxville and
Knoxville, Mel Brooks, I know, yes.
yeah, Johnny Knoxville, Mel Brooks. I do know. Oh, cast and crew. Yes, give me the list here. Who are these people? Zazie. I just want to figure out who Zazie Beats is.
Zazie Beats. Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
You know what?
she played
That seems important to know.
oh God, what's her name? Um Goodness. Uh she was the woman in Joker, and she was also the 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 lucky superhero in Deadpool 2. What was her name? Domino. That was her name.
She was in Joker?
Yeah, she was the the mother that was like kind of the neighbor that was kind of nice to him and shit.
Oh
And
yeah. How is her name spelled? Oh,
Z
Zazie.
Zazie
Okay.
Z
Yeah, I
A
see
A
her.
Z I
Yeah,
E.
okay, I gotcha. Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, uh, German American actress. Yeah, she kills it in a lot of the films that she does. I really like her performances. Star meter top 500. Huh, interesting. But yeah, I'm a fan. But yeah, about so this is a continuation of a bad dad segment that we had from last week. This is just a continuation of the Thanos discussion.
I feel
Okay.
like there could I mean I could do a podcast. I could do 2 hours a week for the rest of my life talking about the discrepancies
Hmm.
between how comic books felt, not just the plot lines, but the weird things that were different
Hmm.
when I was reading comics before this whole MCU thing happened. I feel like because we're going to talk about Lady Death before we even talk about any datitude. Uh,
Hmm.
in the movies, Thanos has this. It's almost. Remember when I said that anyone that says Thanos did nothing wrong is just stupid?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I remember that.
because this is his great quest in the movies. He's gonna kill half of all of the living creatures in the universe because of
Yeah.
scarcity. There's too many people and not enough stuff. And he's so the whole what did it cost you? Everything. The whole tragic I'll do anything to kill half the people in the universe. How long do you think that solution is gonna last? 100
Agreed.
years? 50? Like, who cares? It's ridiculous to me.
It is pretty ridiculous. Like, yeah, you're like no matter what you do, it's like that what is that knock at the cabin door movie by
Oh my, yeah,
Shyamalan.
I'm not. I do not know much about it. I don't know what the. We're going to talk about one of the actors very briefly. I
Uh,
guess I don't have a picture of him, but
Dave
Bautista is
Dave
going to be
Bautista.
mentioned.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Dave.
I got a couple, we're going to talk about Drax the Destroyer in a second.
Oh, interesting.
Um, who is played by Dave Bautista.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I'm not really familiar with what the. I know it is about some kind of apocalypse and people come to a cabin and they demand some member of the family has to be sacrificed. That's about all I know.
That's pretty much all. But that's pretty much the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah. Gay couples told to kill their child, sacrifice their child in order to save the rest of humanity or something like that.
Very silly. It sounds silly to me.
Mm. Definitely sounded silly to me.
Like that kid that God had that dude wake his kid up in the middle of the night and bring him up to the top of a mountain and point a knife at him just to be like, just stop. Stop it. I'm God. I'm just
Was
kidding.
hey man, I was just joking. I just wanted to test your faith, sort of thing.
Um, It was different. Villains were. It was different to be a fan of a villain because they were Thanos comics, and Thanos was a big character. He
Yeah.
started out as just a blanket villain. I feel like, and this may not be. It may not really be a sign of the times, but there's a big push for the Jamie Lannister redemption. Even if a villain is going to kill half the universe, you still have to. They want to give him, you know, that this tragedy and why he's doing this and this terrible thing, and you want a certain subset of people to say Thanos did nothing wrong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you give him this grand noble quest. I don't know if they even refer to Thanos as the Mad Titan in the MCU. That's what they called
Mm.
him in the beginning. He did want to destroy. He did want to kill half of the people in the universe. Do you know why the guy in the comic did? The guy in the comic was super out of his mind. The guy in the movie is cold, logical. He's a facts and logic kind of might
Mm.
is right kind of guy. And
Mm.
there's a reason people go for it. And in the comics, he was just a psychopath. I told you he produced 1,000 children and then murdered them when he
Yeah.
decided maybe that's not what I want to do.
Mm.
Uh, he wanted to destroy half of the universe for his imaginary girlfriend, Lady Death.
Lady Death. I don't think I'm familiar.
Lady Death. He believed to be the Grim Reaper.
Is that is that
In
the
okay,
is that the woman on the right in this
that's the
picture?
woman here. What he's
Okay.
saying to her, what do I have to do? Kill another universe? He was just a psycho.
Damn.
He was
Yeah.
a psychopath and a simp.
Careful, that word can't get.
Oh,
But
we're not supposed to say that.
yeah, I know,
Oh,
right?
ooh.
I know, right? It's whatever. Pshaw.
It doesn't even. It's not even worth mentioning.
No, but and again, like, but no, he's definitely under. It's very blatant. This dude's underneath this woman's thumb. If he's destroying the
Oh,
entire
and
universe.
she's also the kind of thing that writers can do whatever they want with.
Mm.
There was at least one big around 2015. I think it was called Thanos Rising. There was a mini series about Thanos, and this is the one where I talked about him murdering his mother before he left Titan, the planet. Uh,
Mm.
this is some of the darkest Thanos shit ever, and the big reveal at the end of that particular comic was that Lady Death never existed. The reveal was something like, in
It
this
was
year
all a
and time,
dream.
Thanos returned to Titan as he always does,
Yeah.
alone. She was just his excuse for killing whoever he wanted to all the time. And not even in fact, in the end of I think Age of Ultron, maybe. It was either Age of Ultron or the first
Mm.
Avengers movie, the teaser. There's a dude called the Ebony Maw that's Thanos' like bro.
Yeah.
And the teaser shows that guy and he says like these humans are fucking ridiculous. He says to
Mm.
confront them would be to court death. and Thanos like turns around and gives a smile, like he's been courting death this whole time.
Hmm.
What? But then that never. That's it. That was the only hint. But really, a completely different character. I mean, and as a result, a completely different character. I think, and it's weird that it's almost. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like it's weird that no one noticed, and I feel like I guess it doesn't matter because we're all gonna forget. I feel like we're all just gonna forget about everything, but media in like I feel like
Yeah.
we're getting fed movies and things and TikTok so fast that it's just
Right.
more and more we're just gonna forget what we've seen. We're just gonna be more.
Hmm.
When I was a kid, we got to rent a movie on Friday night if we were lucky, and that was it. The rest of the week,
Right.
Price is Right was on or whatever. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
was
Oh yeah.
like there's I think, but and I feel like the reason things are so forgettable is because we're just constantly just turn them. You turn a movie on the TV and it ends and another one just comes on forever all night.
Hmm. My I
And
remember
who
like,
cares anymore?
oh
Who
man.
art is dead.
But the yeah, I remember those days. I remember like,
Boy, the Earth was
mm,
wacky, man. I'm gonna do a whole series about what it was like living on Earth back in the 80s and 90s. Real shit.
I mean, yeah, and what's even crazier is that like I used to I remember those times going to those video stores, and we would go to the local guy because the Blockbuster was just way too expensive to rent from. Even
The
like,
Magic Machine was my guy.
we had a place called Mammoth Video,
All right, okay,
and it was like a
cool.
chain throughout the my side of town, and then they all collapsed, and then were taken over by Family Video, and then when Family Video collapsed, they turned into like CBD shops or something.
Sure, okay, yeah.
But but yeah, I yeah, I remember having to do that, and then like begging my mother to get cable or something similar, like just so I could, one. The big thing for me was wrestling because all my friends were really into like WWE and things like that. So, and I remember like for Christmas, it was like I remember specifically getting the gift of recordable VHS tapes.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
kids, that was a
I,
gift.
I,
Blank
I
cassette
wonder
tapes
if
were
like,
a gift.
yeah. I wonder, I'm sure there are blank cassette tapes that I recorded shit off TV that are at my parents' house. I wonder how I would even play them if I
Oh,
went and found them.
mine are long gone. But if
Yeah, I might be able to that there it might be worth looking at what kind of VHS tapes are sitting in
oh,
basement drawers at my parents' house.
absolutely go
They might be long gone. They might be long gone, but yeah,
uh,
taping it off the TV.
oh
You ever
yeah.
tape shit off the radio? You ever have a
Oh
song
yeah.
you really liked, so you would sit next to the window in your bedroom with your finger on the record button all day, waiting for the song you liked to come on, so you could hit the record button the second it came on.
Or you would call
And when you
relentlessly.
got it, it was a fucking score.
I used to call relentlessly to radio stations.
Oh, call and request it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I used to win prizes all the time to shows that I could never.
Oh,
Yeah, but here's the thing:
and then you
is that
wouldn't be able to attend.
yeah, I was underage, and I was just excited that I got like, actually I got one thing that I did uh win like fair and square and was able to go to, was it was a live taping of a Linkin Park show at what
All
was it?
right.
It was at like the Fillmore or something like that. But yeah, that was pretty neat. But yeah, other than that, like, yeah, I do remember like calling in radio stations too. Like blank cassette tapes were another common gift for me too. Like blank cassettes,
Yeah.
blank VHSs. Um, it was WWE.
How can we like
Yeah.
How do we go back? How do we go back to magnetic tape? It should be precious. You shouldn't be able to record everything. You shouldn't have every TV show you've ever seen right here. I think we
Mm,
shouldn't. I'm going full fucking Luddite or whatever you're gonna call my anti-technology bullshit man
Mennonite.
yelling at cloud. Like you should, yes, you should not have every, and it's only about TV. I don't give a shit about all the other problems. You should not have every TV show possible right here in your pocket. You
you
should. It should be precious. You
it
should have to record them on digital tape. Music too.
it sounds
You
like
should
my
have to listen to records.
it, so- it sounds like my great grandmother when she had cable because
This is
my yeah.
sinful. This is devil shit. This is dark sorcery. You guys are doing deals with devils.
But
These fetishes. These demonic fuck. Okay, I'm gonna start sounding like some guy talking about how vaccines are full of demons or something.
it,
But
it is.
you shouldn't have every All I'm saying is you shouldn't have every TV show in your pocket.
Oh man,
Should
my
be
great
precious.
grandmother when I told her about how I loved watching Cartoon Network, she had a heart
Yeah.
attack about a television, like she was like, German, immigrant after World War II, married an American soldier, like old school European. Like the concept of cartoons being on for a 24-hour period was like sinful to her, let alone she was also a Jehovah's Witness. So,
Oh well, I'm
yeah.
sure that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
so it even blew her mind even more. Like I would come home and watch the Super Mario Super Show, and I would watch one episode, and then she goes, "Okay, that's enough of that. Go throw a ball against the wall. Just go outside or do something. Just stop watching this." Because I mean, like, what we're watching, like now that, like, have you watched like the Super Mario Super Show, like, recently? Like,
I've
it,
watched it as an adult. Like I've
yeah,
watched it within the past 10 years or so. So I know it was something. I know it was something else.
it was a wild show, man. Especially the live action Mario and Luigi were just,
Yeah, that's the main. I mean, the car. I feel like the cartoon was just whatever. I feel like when fucking Captain Lou Albano or whatever came out as
oh man,
fucking Mario and
mm,
yeah, Mario and Luigi and Elvira sometimes and other strange. They would have weird guest stars. It was so weird. I remember being like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah, so I got yeah, and
mm,
yeah, I was gonna say what other cards and stuff do we have, but so this is one of the original
mm,
pages. Jim Starlin was the writer who was credited with creating Thanos. I should
mm,
know. I feel like I should know who the artist involved here is, but yeah, this is right here. He's talking about how, and she's never spoken to him until like 2008, she never even spoke to him. There was sheer madness. His whole
really,
motivation was sheer madness, and honestly, it's great. The whatever the comic was, and it was in the early 2000s. There's a
mm,
comic where he meets her again, like at the end of the universe, and I wish I should have gotten a card of this exact scene, but he says like, I did this for you. I destroyed half the lives in the universe for you. I did this and this and this, and like you still don't care and you're not talking to me or whatever. And
mm,
she says like, I am death. Why would I want more of the only thing that I have? Like,
mm,
why would I give a shit about you, Thanos of Titan? Like he
right,
just get and that's the best and the best part is that he just gets shit for everything he's trying so desperately to do. He just gets shit on, and the comics that from that period of time in the 90s, and even I'm even kind of familiar. I had basically like three periods of comic collecting. One
mm,
kind of in high school in the 90s, one kind of after college in the early 2000s,
mm,
and one kind of around 2015. So I kind of knew. I really when I got into the MCU, I was into comics. So like
mm.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
You've been interested in the
I've
field
known
for a lot.
I've known these characters for a long time, I guess, and I've known
Mm,
different iterations of them. This is from like the 70s. Jim Starlin and his original
really,
Captain Marvel stuff and the original Thanos comics are very cool.
mm.
Yeah, shout outs to Jim Starlin, probably a pretty good dad. I don't know. I hope. I'm gonna stop just I'm gonna stop rating people about what kind of dad I imagine they might be. I feel like that could just go wrong. I don't know how, but I feel like that could go wrong somehow.
Yeah,
It turn out that Jim Starlin's a fucking monster or something.
something like that. That's about.
But
I don't know.
I think I got a card. So, but the character of Lady Death is and always in comics, and that might be part of it. In that in comics, people and I talk a lot about how I like the Disney Plus Marvel TV shows because they kind of feel more like comics where people can kind of do whatever they want. So I have one of the cards here shows Deadpool because this character that they said doesn't exist, and I don't know what's canon or if according or if there even is canon in the comics anymore. They might just be writing whatever. Yeah, but she left and got married to Deadpool instead. Did Thanos just cannot stop getting shit on? Of course he's some bad dad. He got shit on by the entire universe. Fucking
Yeah.
Deadpool steals his pony woman. So I don't know how canon she is. Deadpool obviously is also quite insane. So
Mm,
it could she could entirely be a shared hallucination.
yeah. So like uh, that's interesting. I haven't really read too much into the older comics, and let alone I'm not even familiar with this character. But
Yeah,
it's
totally
fascinating.
left out of the movies. Totally gone. It just like it's crazy to me how just not there she is.
Hmm. Dude, interesting. Very interesting.
So then, and I wanted to mention Drax the Destroyer, who is
Hmm.
played by Dave Bautista.
Hmm.
Uh, I got two images. That one of them, that's what he looks like more in more modern times, and he looks more like that in the movies. That's the Dave Bautista version.
Hmm.
And then I got a one of his how he looked like originally as well.
Is it that one,
Uh,
or is that the Green Guy?
yeah,
I thought that was the Green
the
Goblin for a moment, actually.
the green guy. He looks like there's a lot of green and purple guys. I think due to uh, limited colors being available in early printing situations, and they wanted to have contrasting colors. I mean, the Hulk obviously wears purple shorts. The Green Goblin is green and purple. There's a lot of green and black and purple guys,
Oh
and this
yeah.
guy, and obviously he got the redesign eventually. But this character in the movies, kind of because, and it might be because of cutting the Thanos backstory, but this character is just a one note alien and they gave him a weird thing where he talks weird and he doesn't understand like metaphor, so he always interprets everything literally, and that's just kind of the joke about the way he talks. I wish I had an example, but it really doesn't matter. It's really just kind of a running joke. But in the oh yeah, this is why we're going to talk about Zeus because
Yeah.
there is a Kronos. There's two characters in the comics. This is what I looked up called Kronos. One is
Mm.
Kronos, who was one of the either Celestials. I think he was an Eternal or
Mm.
something. There were Celestials who created Eternals, who created all life. Who cares? Anyway, here we have Saturn devouring his son. Saturn, have you've seen this painting before?
I've never seen this painting before, and I was about to ask you what the hell
It's
it
a little
was.
bit gory, right? It's a little gory.
That's pretty funny though. No, that's great. I mean, it was just really. I initially thought it was like a. I thought it was a Junji Ito for a minute, but this
Oh,
is.
sure, yeah, sure.
But no, I've never seen that before. That's so interesting. So Saturn eating who again?
His son,
His son.
yes. Yeah, and you know what? And I typed it into Google Images because that is something you should probably type into Google Images.
Oh yeah, there's some fun pictures here.
Yeah,
There's a, there's a lot
there's
of
a lot of
memes
fun
of it.
ones.
A lot of memes of it.
Yes.
Um, I think I just found somebody made a 3D print of Saturn's son's devoured body as a action figure
Yes, yes. I'm waiting for you to see the one that I wasn't sure if I should show.
With the Mickey Mouse one with Darth Vader
Nope.
because that was a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one. I like the worm and the Furby. If you've seen that one yet.
Oh goodness, no, I don't think I see this one yet. Um,
If you would like to, if you want to take a look at my screen to see the one that the one that I had, the one that I had mentioned that I wasn't sure if I should give you as a slide.
oh yeah, let me see. Uh,
So this is, so obviously a real bad dad thing to do would be to devour your son. So I mean, I think that that's,
yeah.
so we're going to talk about Zeus and Kronos, who really are the same guy. There's two Cronoses in the Marvel universe.
Mm,
Although really the Kronos that has to do with Thanos really doesn't have to do with Saturn.
okay.
So there is a Saturn who is Zeus's father, who's called Cronus,
Is
and
that is
Thanos is Kronos.
That's so good. I didn't realize the shirt at first. That was so funny. Yeah, we probably shouldn't show that one.
Let's leave that out of the conversation. I love the Furby and the worm.
Another day, another day.
Uh, Drax is interesting to me because on Thanos' first visit to Earth, he like there's witnesses, like a car full of suburban humans see him landing in his UFO, and he's like, better kill those people. The daughter survives and ends up becoming a hero called Heather Moondragon, who hasn't showed up in the MCU yet. But the soul of the father, for whatever reason, Kronos, who is the god of Titan, who has become, he was an Eternal, I think, that somehow became dematerialized and ascended to godhood, but he's also trapped in space, like you end up in comics, trapped in space, nearby Titan somewhere. So he's watching over Titan, and he grabs, because Drax was murdered, the father's soul, because he was so unfairly murdered by Thanos. Kronos sees like the soul, and he's like, I'm gonna reincarnate you out of a body that I've made from your native Earth to take vengeance on behalf of the Earth for your murdered daughter and wife, and you will become Drax the Destroyer. And then in the fucking, it's such a complicated backstory, and this is just another example, because then in the movies he's just an alien that doesn't understand metaphor,
No,
like
yeah.
completely different. Like not even, sometimes they change the backstory and stuff, but I feel like the way that the Disney, and it's, you know, it's, they're Disney movies, but they're really, and the thing is that now the comics are being made to reflect the movies, and there is, and I just sound like a whiny old shithead saying they're taking my childhood or whatever,
Right.
but we're moving into just a very flatly ironed out, just real, uh I don't know. The word congealed is not correct, but just a real
Congealed.
amalgamous, flat,
Yeah.
smooth comic book universe is what's being created.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the TV shows are really cool, though. They get back to the, anyway. Kronos' son, no, yeah, Kronos ate all of his children, devoured them all, and
Interesting.
Kronos' wife, he was like, because a witch or something came by and was like, one of your children is gonna depose you as king of the universe. This was before, I think, there may not have been mankind at this point. This was a raw primal Earth where the Titans had been defeated. Um, so Kronos devoured like 15 children, and his wife got sick of it. So his wife took a rock and some poison, and yeah, she gave birth to Zeus, and she
Mm.
like slipped Zeus to the handmaiden. She was like, "Get Zeus out of here," and then I feel like there are a lot of myths where a baby comes back as a man like the next day.
Mm.
I think that like Apollo or Hermes or someone did something like that, but so, and I also could be getting this wrong, but takes the rock and the poison. She's like, Kronos, here, I've given birth to another son, and Kronos immediately devours it. And in the poison, he pukes up all of the gods. They may all be adults, I don't know. And then Zeus walks in the door and fucking stabs him with a lightning bolt or something. But then Zeus, and maybe this is all, maybe everything I'm saying is just metaphors for generational trauma. Because then what happens to Zeus as an adult? Do you want to take a guess who this
Uh,
woman coming out of Zeus's head is? You want to know how she got in there?
I'm intrigued. No, I have no
Well,
idea.
a witch came by one day and said, Zeus, probably the same witch, one of your children is going to depose you. And Zeus said, well, I guess I'll have to eat them. I wonder if, like, because they're gods, they couldn't be just killed. They're immortal, so you have to eat them and hope you never have indigestion and vomit.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Zeus eats his daughter Athena as a child, and
Mm-hmm.
then one day he gets a splitting headache, and there's Hippocrates who was,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Hippocrates was a god, but there was like a doctor god that was like good at it, and there were but before the guy that was good at it, it may have just been Hippocrates. He may be a demigod or something,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a shitty god. There was a
Yeah.
god of snake oil before him, a god of snakes and
I
snake
got
oil.
snake oil.
Yeah, and so he called Zeus. Called Zeus has a splitting headache, so he calls the snake oil god, and snake oil god comes in with a rock, and he's like, "Well, it looks like there's a lot of pressure inside of your skull. There's something in there. I guess we better smash your skull open." And Snake Doctor smashes Zeus's skull open, and fully formed Athena with a spear and a shield and a helmet comes bounding out of Zeus's skull. Uh, and
Dude.
to my knowledge, after that they were both cool with each other. Zeus was like, "Hi, I'm Zeus. I'm the king of the gods. I ate you as an infant, but you're here now, so go be the goddess of." I don't even know.
Uh,
She's a
uh,
popular one.
wait, Athena. Oh
People
wait,
that they
Athena. Athena's the goddess of love, isn't she?
No, that's Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. You're absolutely right.
Athena is Athens is named after her. They built great temples. She was one of the more worshipped
Battle
gods.
strategy and
I
wisdom.
wisdom. Yeah, she came out of the man's head.
So
So yeah, that's it. So Zeus is a bad dad. I was saying it
yeah.
was really just a brief, just a little bit of bad daddery today with Zeus and Kronos. But really, I kind of, yeah, I wanted to revisit Thanos because I have a lot to say about him. And really, I could do a 2 hour podcast once a week for the rest of my life, just talking about what Marvel comics and being a fan of them was like during those three different periods. And now it's just Star Wars, and now it's just everything else. And now they made a Battle Angel Alita movie, and I've already fucking forgotten about it. You know what movie I'll never forget about though, Thrash?
What movie?
It's called Upstream Color by the man who directed Primer. Another very, did we talk about Primer at all? Because I've talked about it with a few people.
You know what? We've discussed it, but I don't think I've ever actually seen that movie.
Yeah, it's a hard one, and
Hmm.
not because of this is a Upstream Color is a hard watch
It's an extremely hard
for a
watch.
completely different reason. Primer is hard because it's indecipherable, because it's extremely bland. It's a lot of the same kind of shots of the same characters kind of
Hmm.
going through their daily lives,
Right.
and the storyline is about, some of them are time travelers manipulating one another, but you never have any idea who is from what time period, and it is written in a way to be so convoluted
Oh yeah.
that you never know what conversation is taking place between who, or like what's going on.
Oh yeah. I
Um,
didn't understand a damn thing about this movie. Like it was like it was an absolute hard. It was like having a mushroom trip that had hard cuts
yeah,
every 5 minutes.
it's like, yeah, this is a hard watch because it's like it it's disorienting and
Oh yeah.
nasty and upsetting. Yeah, it's like mushrooms. It's a hard watch because it's like mushrooms.
Hmm.
And yeah, so the first movie, and I, to my knowledge, he's only directed these two films. I
Hmm.
don't know what he's up to. I tried to watch a video about him talking about this film,
Hmm.
and he had a hard time explaining it.
I mean, it's like having the dude from Wax try to explain himself.
Sure, and this is almost like Wax without the narrator explaining it.
Hmm.
This movie, I feel like none of the dialogue in this movie has anything to do with what's going on in the scene. I feel like all of the dialogue is incidental to the actual story, to what's actually happening. I feel like they talk about their work and about seeing each other. The
Hmm.
most important dialogue might be when they're talking about how they both have the same childhood memories now. That might be the only important piece of dialogue. Everything else might just be contextual.
Like that's the thing that really kind of I started wondering what was actually happening. Was she
Do you
was
kind of?
what was her having this
Please continue.
misremember? No, was her having this misremembrance of she's just like yeah, I remember doing this, that, and the other thing, and he goes no, 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 that was my memory, and she goes no, I remember
Yeah.
doing this specifically, and that's where I was like where I got really lost. That I'm like okay, so is she misremembering this, and like like where's the actual line of sanity here, like in the actual story, like
You
what is the actual occurrence here, you know
should I do a spoilery? Yeah, should I do a spoilery wrap up of kind of what actually happens in the movie?
well I mean like I'm considering that like yeah, I guess I'll throw the spoiler
Because
alert thing here,
yeah.
whatever, but yeah, yeah, if you would care to,
Um,
I'm
I mean,
intrigued. This movie is real.
we are usually full, but I guess not really. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of asking you if you kind of got what. So basically, I mean, so the reason that they have the same memories is because they both have been infected with this worm,
Yes.
and it has. There's obviously like a web of connections that starts forming because they have, the man. By the way, the man that owns the pig farm,
Mm-hmm.
there are two characters that are credited in the credits that I think are really interesting what they're credited as. And
Mm-hmm.
one is the guy that the movie starts by focusing on, the guy that actually does the kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
That character is credited just as the thief, and the guy that runs the pig farm is credited as the sampler.
Hmm.
But but the male character
Mm-hmm.
Jeff talks about how he was he was addicted to drugs. I think he was saying he's in Narcotics Anonymous, and he had made some huge fuck up that had lost his company all of this money.
Yeah.
Just like she had been hypnotized to go to the bank and sign away all of her, whatever
Mm-hmm.
resources she was tricked into getting rid of.
Right.
So the sort of the network of like empathy that forms, it has to do with the fact, well, both of the and you also, this is also very important and it's kind of easy to miss, but when she goes out to the tent in the middle of the night where the sampler is, like, what was happening there is that he actually pulls the worm out of her leg and feeds it into one of the pigs, like into a slit in the pig's belly. And this is a very bad recap. Maybe I should just start from the beginning. But later on, when
Yeah.
they're in bed together, there's a brief shot that shows it shows their feet, and they both have a scar near their ankle, which
Yeah.
was the place where the
Where
sampler pulled the worm out of her body.
mm-hmm.
So
That
there,
much I
and
got.
the sampler at some point has been infected with this as well. uh and that's why he can go to the pigs and he can like check on the scenes where he checks on the various characters by touching their pigs.
Mm-hmm.
He can see what the character is doing at that time. It's because of the connection, and then so and somehow because and that's one of the reasons these two. I feel like there is something. It may just be because they're pigs. I think it's because their pigs know each other is the reason that he becomes so pushy and almost bizarre. Like it's insane the way he talks to her at first. Like he's just like, I'm here and I'm gonna talk to you and I'm gonna be in your life. Like and she doesn't even say no. Partially because she's been conditioned. But because of their connection between their two pigs are together, it brings them together. And to an extent that they become unsure. This is so Evangelion,
Mm.
where one stops and the other begins, right? So
Mm.
they don't know whose childhood memories are whose because those worms are still alive and still in two pigs that have formed a connection that is forcing a psychic connection between these two.
Mm.
Uh, does that,
I
does
mean,
that so
I
yeah.
mean I mean that covers. Yeah, that sounds starting to sound familiar.
So
Yeah.
that's but I mean but none of the things I said are explicitly mentioned in the movie. Like I think the important thing to say like is that on top of all those things I just said, what I
Right.
said originally, how no one talks about any of that, it's
Mm.
all little things like noticing two scars on their ankles. This is just another don't hug me, I'm scared, where someone left a breadcrumb of clues to say, let's see what internet detectives figure out about this movie. And
Right.
this is my take pretty much, but I mean I think there's enough it's not just clues. There's enough I think there's enough in this movie. And keep in mind that was the third time I've seen this movie.
Mm.
So like I kind of had figured it out. And even this time I kind of figured out
Mm.
more about what's actually the whole thing in the end where like he's the sampler is like touching one of the pigs and
Mm.
he's looking at Jeff and like the woman walks in and he thinks that she's there in the room with Jeff and then she makes direct eye contact with him and then it shows her fucking murdering him cuz she's at
Yeah.
the pig farm with him but he's in Jeff's mind and she's in Jeff's mind with him until she murders him. Like
Oof.
you got to watch the movie a couple times.
Yeah, it seems it's definitely one of those movies that you have to watch a handful of
when
times to get.
she when she in there's a moment in Jeff's mind where she turns and makes eye contact with him and like I think this was the first time that like I knew what was going on and it's like chilling cuz neither of them are supposed to be there in this guy's mind. And like nothing like what I'm saying is ever mentioned in any of the dialogue. Like they're seriously they
No.
talk more about their finances and their jobs. It's
Yeah.
the whole like what is this movie saying? It's saying a lot. It's saying a lot about grief and connection and maybe the fact that none of us even notice anything. And boy, there's a weird parasitic life form that really is what the plot is about that is barely discussed, but there's a lot of worm imagery.
Hmm.
I really like I don't know if you noticed, but when she first wakes up after being kidnapped, there's a bunch of scenes. It's actually right before it shows the worms under her flesh. But there's a bunch of long shots of worms like inside bodies or whatever. I don't know what these are actual shots of. And the
Hmm.
worms are like curling.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I've got too much shit on my desk, so every time I reach for my pipe, I move the camera because it's all under there. But there's a bunch of shots of worms like
Mm.
just inside of what looks like flesh and they're kind of like curling up and releasing, just kind of
Uh,
doing worm stuff. And then it shows her like stretching and waking up after the whole thing and like
hmm.
she's doing this with her hands like a like 2 or 3 minutes of shots of her like stretching
Hmm.
and doing the same kind of worm emotions as the
Hmm.
worm inside of her. And it's like that's the kind of thing that maybe you'll, start to notice. I mean, other people may be more attentive to me, but that was something I noticed this time. And this is one of those movies that you can just watch over and over again and notice more and more things about it. Because
Absolutely.
I really didn't think it was going to be. I didn't recall it being that cryptic.
You know what?
Like,
I mean, on the face, it all made sense, but the fact that I'm reading like it's a sci-fi time, like I didn't get the the transcending time stuff. That's the thing that I kind of missed there. Like
yeah,
it just
it's
seemed like
something about the yeah.
it seemed to me it was just like two people that both had traumas with uh that as it pertained to like this particular worm, and had both had hallucinatory like ordeals that they couldn't really get out themselves out of, and they try to work
Sure.
through this trauma
And
together, and that's what I kind of got. I didn't get any time traveling in there other than you know the the swapping back and forth between where they were and the pig farm, and
yeah.
and then
Um
when they switched out the worms and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just really hard to like. I mean, it's not cryptic, but it's definitely hard to follow. I
I
don't know.
didn't say anything about time travel.
Um, there was something that I read about the movie that said
I
something
might
about time
I
travel.
might Primer is about time travel.
Uh,
The first film that he made.
oh, excuse me, not time. I didn't mean to
This
say
is
time
just about yeah, all of these characters are psychically connected because of the connections that these were of these worms, yeah. Uh
travel. Hmm. Yeah, I can.
and obviously the thing oh,
Hmm.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think I must have misread something. I thought it said something um about time travel or something like that, but I guess I'm misreading.
I think
I
that was the other movie.
Nah, I think it might have been the other movie. But the one thing that I thought was really like the one thing that I didn't really get was the reading of Walden or the rewriting of Walden, you know, word by word.
Yeah. um I sort of I feel like why he made her because he makes her do that. It looks like he makes her do that while he's like sleeping. Like that's something that, and he tells her the water is the most refreshing water, and the only way that she can get it is by copying a page of Walden and making putting it into a like a ring, like a
Mm,
paper ring thing for Christmas, and then
so
she gets
weird.
a sip of water. Yeah, I think it just has part. I think Walden just has to do with her conditioning, and that's why when she starts, going back down and understanding what happened to her, it has to do with reciting Walden from memory because that was how she was controlled.
It's so yeah. That's just
And that,
wild.
yeah, and that part, and that really, like, none of the things I just said are even remotely explicit in the movie. like, like barely, like even, yeah. The first time you see it, like, okay, this guy kidnapped her. She's in some kind of trance and she's copying Walden. And then later on, I don't know. There's a scene in the pool where she looks up and tugs on like a yellow flower. And I don't know I don't know if you see, I don't know if there are other yellow flowers. There's obviously blue and white ones all over the place, but it's obviously not really there in the pool. And I have no idea. And it's while she's reciting Walden. That might be where she figures out that she can, it might be, I don't know if there are yellow flowers at the pig farm, but that might be where she figures out that she can like kind of do it backwards and have access to the sampler's mind, just like how he can check on all of them.
Hmm, man. Yeah. Again, this movie just like it left me feeling like I was like it left me feeling like I was tripping out the entire time.
It's a it is absolutely that kind of movie, and
It it was like without the fractals like
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was bizarre, man. I really liked this movie though a lot. Like the overall like bizarreness of just I mean you see such a horrific scene and then it was kind of like this like I don't know, this like kind of weird like kind of development throughout the entire movie of like trying to understand where all the pieces fit, because you start off with
Yeah.
these people just like, this poor woman dealing with this horrible, theft, and then all of a sudden, you know here you have again, dude that has a pig farm just making samples,
Yeah.
and
Weird.
then kills an entire bag of pigs. That was another
So
thing
do you?
that
I mean,
I didn't get the symbolism of that, or like the
really
necessity of
long
it.
and really upsetting sequence, by the way, with the piglets.
Yes.
So the piglets are that's going on when they're in the tub.
Okay.
And they're in the tub because those are their piglets.
Right.
They're like the pig that has her worm and the pig that has his worm
Mm. They made.
produce some piglets. And
Mm.
now the man's and if you the humans are in their apartment looking in the cabinets and shit going, where are they? I can't find them. And you don't know what they're looking for. And what they're
Right.
looking for is their fucking piglets. And the pigs are being caged. And
Mm.
so the humans are terrified and they hide in the tub with a gun and bananas. It's
Yeah.
upsetting. Like it's
It
really
is.
and it really is about grief and but that's the thing about and that's seriously like 15 or 20 minutes. It's probably
Mm.
like 10, but like the whole thing with the piglets is those are their piglets.
Right. Right. Yeah, that was the thing that really got me. It was like this. I thought it was some sort of like I not to. Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of like like an animal rights
Spencer
statement of
Reed's.
some sorts
Oh,
or something.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I'm sure that this seems like the kind of guy that likes animal rights,
Mm.
especially watching this all of this non I mean, maybe who knows. But
Yeah, and I mean it made perfect sense
uh
to me. Like
it's
that.
really but I mean it really is about empathy and connection not just with animals but to other people
Mhm.
and it's just so gross because it is because empathy is so fucking gross and people are gross and boy this boy was terrified of the invisible connections that people form.
Man, like
That's a quote from Evangelion.
I haven't again. I need to rewatch that series. I love that series so
Maybe
much
don't,
too.
you don't have to.
Oh no, I
I
do.
don't think anyone.
It,
Okay,
it's
well,
a
you
it's
know
a
what,
devas
that's a
it's a de-
decision that you have to make.
it's a
That's a
devastating
decision that you
watch,
have to
but
make for
it's super
yourself.
good.
Yeah.
Like I did it like a couple of years back during the pandemic, but I didn't really
Yeah, I
yeah.
probably did. Yeah, I probably watched when it was on. It came on Netflix. Yeah,
Or yeah, when they did the redub, which I thought was weird, man. But
was it?
I thought it was a little weird. They changed a couple of things that I thought were mildly bizarre. Like and the new Shinji voice was, and
Oh, there was a new voice.
yeah, their
That
new
would
voice.
have. I don't
Yeah.
know. I did not watch it in English. So
Oh,
wow, the guy that did Shinji was like
yeah.
a
That's
superstar.
there was a big fan backlash about it because there was those changes. Uh, they brought him back for the original Shinji guy, though. I think they brought back for the
The
final
movie that they made during the
3.33 or whatever.
yeah. It was. I might I'm not good at math. I might get this wrong. I believe that the title was 3.1 plus 1.1.
Oh yeah, whatever the hell it was.
think I think that was the title. it may have
Uh,
been it may have been called something like Evangelion Final 3.1 plus 1.1, but there was definitely a plus sign in the title. Let's see. I'm gonna take
no,
a
it's
look at
3.0 plus 1.0.
3.0 plus 1.0.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, silly, very silly. That's a
yeah,
very silly title to title your anime movie. I think.
yeah. I thought that was a yeah interesting choice. Uh, what I thought that like again, I thought it was a again thought it was a fantastic series. Everybody had their gripes about it, but I thought it was like no matter like everybody has their beefs on every iteration, but I've enjoyed the entirety of it. Like even from like the End of Ava series and all that, like all the original movies leading into the um I don't know,
The
I
rebuild.
the rebuild, yeah, that's what I meant to say. And they started
I
doing
mean, it's
the extracurricular movies I thought were fantastic. The
yeah,
rebuild movies I thought were great.
it's great. Evangelion is great.
Mm.
I hate it because I'm mad. Boy, I don't even know how I feel about Evangelion. I guess that's the problem. It was a huge part of my life for some reason. I can't believe how much Evangelion I've watched, and like anything else, just like I hate A Link to the Past, I definitely hate
Oh, really?
Evangelion. Yeah. Uh, oh yeah, I did it too much. Yeah, that's why. That really is it. There's a lot you could say about Evangelion, and I do not recommend it to people. Maybe just because, honestly, just because the original series is very old, is very aged anime at this point. That
Yeah.
honestly might be why. Because honestly, I feel like if I told someone go watch Evangelion, they would like a youngster these days. They'd come back and they'd say, "I put on that old ass anime. The animation was bad. Everyone was whining. I don't care." But of course, I also hate Evangelion because it did a pathos to me. Because such some of it is because to this day when I'm talking about emotion or empathy or connections, I end up pulling out some stupid Evangelion quote. It's like in there. It's back there as part of how I understand empathy. So
Yeah.
I learned way too much about the world from television.
Like it was a heavy show. I remember seeing that in high school.
Heavy as fuck, like unbelievably so. Like just yeah, just awful to think about.
Oh, dude. I
Love
remember.
Evangelion.
God, what was it? Like movies like Akira were like heavy duty like watches for sure when I was a kid.
Sure. Akira was very popular when I was in high school. That was like someone in high school, someone would come up to you and be like, "Oh, yeah, you like anime, huh? Have you seen this?" So they'd
Yeah.
pull
Oh
a
yeah.
VHS copy of Akira
Where'd you
out
get
of
that
their
VHS
overcoat.
copy of Akira just out of nowhere? I carried it around with me at all times just so I could seem superior to other people.
Oh man, where my glasses aren't even here. I really, really was at some point. At some point years ago, we took my whatever we were like, let's look at what anime VHS tapes I have on the shelf. I don't think I have a copy of Akira on VHS, but I really should. I only have a few VHS tapes there, kind of just. I got a bunch of them in a trunk somewhere, and the rest of them are in somebody's garage.
I had a bad.
No idea how I would ever watch any of them.
Check this shit out. I had the most.
Okay.
I had like a freaking big old like tub of VHSs, and they were amazing sets. Like I had like, do you ever see the movie True Romance with
Oh,
Christian
sure.
Slater
Yes.
and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Patricia Arquette? I had that on VHS. I loved that movie dearly, and I had and along with an assortment of the original VHS collection of Star Wars before they added in Greedo shooting
Before
first.
the special edition, the original VHS box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
original.
yeah.
Yeah, it was the
I think I
THX
know someone who has one of those.
They were the
Yeah.
THX remasters, but they didn't have all the extra scenes in
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah.
it. Yeah. So I had those, and those are fucking rare. And so my roommate slash bass player at the time decided like we were gonna like get like a new apartment somewhere. And my
Okay.
girlfriend and I at the time decided that we wanted to keep the apartment that we were at, but I'm like, yo, you guys can go find your own apartment. But he began putting all of our stuff together to get ready to move in together. And I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck is this? And he goes, what? I packed all of our VHSs together because we're moving in together, right? And I'm like, no, separate that shit now. and he moved out with all my VHSs, and he never separated them, and his ex ended up taking most of them. All right,
Wow.
I was furious. I don't know. I ended up finding another one at a Salvation Army, but it ended up being the one that where Greedo shot first.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't have that anymore, which is a bummer.
I should get a VCR.
Dude, go to a
I feel
Salvation Army,
like,
not a Salvation Army.
boy,
Go to another resale shop of some sort. Just as long as you don't have to go to a pawn shop. I'm sure you can find one on Craigslist.
I should go to the Goodwill more often. There's sometimes really good shit there. The last VCR I bought at a Goodwill for cheap.
Mm. I do like going to like those types of places and finding like random shit.
Yeah, like, yeah. One of I had a monitor that I used for a long time that was $15 at a Goodwill. Like occasionally some of important pieces of tech around here have
Mm.
come from Goodwill. There's a good one.
Yeah.
You go to the rich town. There's a good rich town. I can go down to Westport and I can look at the rich people's Goodwill.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I used to do that too. My friends and I used to go to there's like this like rich suburb that
Oh
we would
yeah, 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 for sure.
well for one we would drive around the neighborhoods and see if they were like throwing out couches because they would throw out these really nice couches
Yeah.
and then we'd throw
And they
that in our
probably didn't have drunk people pissing on them.
no it was just like
Those
oh
couches, they're
this
from nice
couch is just
houses and
out of
civilized
season.
people.
It's out of
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah. It's
Goodbye.
out of season. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's starting to get that stale, lived in smell. So I'm gonna go buy a new one. And yeah, we would go and pick up the couches, and we would
It's been there for 3 months.
something like that. Oh yes, yeah. Although one time we did find a dead parent's chair, which was kind of hilarious. I felt awkward taking it, but it was like a cool story. Friends and I were walking in this said same neighborhood, and we found this kick and chair, and it had like it was like a lazy boy, but it wasn't that heavy. So we were like, oh hell yeah,
Okay.
let's bring this back. We had like a little hangout area, and like, oh yeah, let's bring this out to the hangout. And as we are about to pick it up, the um person whose chair it was in front of their house. They were like, hey, I don't have a problem with you guys taking it. Just so you know, though, my mother died in that chair. And I'm like,
Hooray! Died
I'm
in the chair.
died in the chair, and of
Just so
course
you know, the
she died.
chair is haunted.
Well, not even
Just so
that.
that's in your head.
Well, not even that. You know what happened?
Yeah.
I hate to go South Park about it, but you know what happens when you die? Like, you
Oh
evacuate,
yes.
you evacuate
Okay.
everything.
Yes, I gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm picking up what
That
you're putting
episode
down.
didn't air yet when we found this
Ah.
chair, and we were completely unaware of what evacuation happen like the type of evacuation that happens when you die. Um, so we're like, oh cool, they're like we were in the same boat, haunted chair. Like years upon years later, looking back on it, we sat in dead woman who knows what
Poop chair. Yeah.
poop chair.
Dead
No no
woman
no no
poop
no 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 no
chair.
poop chair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, wasn't pretty. Yeah, but anyways, back to this
yeah.
movie. This whole experience, like literally,
It's such a good movie.
remember?
I do not
Yeah,
don't watch this. I recommend this to everyone.
yeah. I recommend to everybody to watch but not watch at the same time. Like this
Yeah,
is such a it's a heavy watch.
it is. It really,
Definitely
really, really, really is. It is. It
definitely
is.
do a Does the Dog Die like on this one.
Oh yeah, I was even gonna talk about that.
Yeah, which
Thank you for mentioning it. Yeah, do it. Does the dog die on this one? If you've been listening to us, you heard us talk about the piglets, but there's a lot of. But do it. Does the dog die? There's a lot of awful shit in this
mhm,
one. Boy,
absolutely.
just terrible things happening.
Yes, most definitely. It's and I think Does the Dog Die is a very useful website for those who.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I feel like I was vaguely aware, but I had
Mm.
never used it until it was mentioned the other night. And this is a good movie to check that shit for. Oh boy.
So yeah, I had an ex who was very easily triggered by like sexual assault scenes, and
Short.
and there are like again like so, there's like a lot of like staple movies that I'm just like oh man like I'm trying to think of an example here like you got to see Chasing Amy, like Chasing Amy is such a fantastic movie, and then they have the whole scene where they talk about how uh she was just how she wasn't Ben Affleck's whore or something like that, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like scenes like that, like we're really happy for her, and so from that point on, we ended up finding this website, and so we had to do a Does the Dog Die for practically every movie that we watched, and I came to
That's a good
realize,
resource.
yeah, I came to realize how like I watch a lot of really unfortunately heavy movies, like it's a severe amount of very very heavy movies. Um, but
I wouldn't say that I watch this. Well, I don't know. I definitely watch a few. I definitely watch some.
mhm. but
Maybe I've been leaning a little heavy these days. That might be part of it. I may be, yeah. I've watched a few heavy things in the past
yeah,
month or so, including this terrible movie. It's really incredible. It's really good. It is at the end of the day well made and entertaining, and it will make you feel sick to your soul. Like it
hmm,
really makes you feel not only physically sick, but like a crazy person.
very much so.
And there we did talk about the disjointed way that time is used in this movie. How like especially their
Mhm.
relationship and the way it'll show how certain people have the same conversation over and over again. There's
Oh yeah.
definitely a lot of scenes where some people are, yeah, where the quick cuts that are obviously from different times of day, different times of the year, and they're having this conversation, and it's about how these invisible connections are formed that terrify people. And this movie, there is something terrifying in what's happening in this movie, other
Uh,
than parasitic worms.
Other than parasitic worms,
Yeah,
but
it's a great film,
but yeah,
monstrous.
yeah, I would say like an 8.5 out of 10. Solid film. Like I
Yeah,
like some Requiem for a Dream shit.
yeah. I like to make fun of Darren Aronofsky. I like to say that. Oh man, I forgot what I like to say.
Yeah, well, we
It
know the
was
old.
something about God.
I was gonna say we all know the old phrase, but
Oh,
what is it?
uh, well, I want to know what phrase you are. Are you thinking
Well,
of? He can suck on my asshole until my head caves in. Because
that's
okay.
that I know that's one. That's a particular phrase that I like that you do, but I actually didn't honestly know what phrase you were going to refer to.
No, this
I
is
thought you had
something.
some
Yeah.
phrase. Yeah.
No, the last time I said this to somebody, I wish I knew what they said because, well, I wish I knew what I said because it was not exactly this, but it was something along the lines of Darren Aronofsky being a poor man's Ari Aster, which is Ari Aster has only been making movies for the past 5 years or so, but he's getting upsetting better than Darren Aronofsky ever did. And Darren Aronofsky, I think, really wanted to upset people.
I mean, I loved Midsummer. Midsummer was fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but and it was
Love it.
it was
I know,
severely
yeah.
disorienting. What? You didn't see it?
Oh no, no, no. That's what I mean. I because I love Ari Aster and Midsummer and Hereditary,
Mm.
is why I feel like Darren Aronofsky was a punk. I think Ari Aster has mastered the vibe that Darren Aronofsky was going for.
Hmm.
Darren Aronofsky never got it. Something about every movie he made annoyed me. I don't know.
I I'm into. I saw the trailer for that new movie, Beau's Afraid. It looks really good. The one with Joaquin Phoenix.
Which of these men is that? That's Ari Aster.
No, Ari Aster. Yeah,
Ari Aster. I have no idea.
yeah. It's like
uh,
yeah.
I don't know if I've seen the trailer. Yeah.
It's got Nathan Lane in it, which was a very interesting choice.
Oh.
Oh, it was a Nathan. Why do I always mix up John Lovitz and Nathan Lane? They look nothing alike. Why do I do this to myself? Uh,
This
what's
movie, Shane Carruth, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this
mm,
guy definitely, and this movie fits into a conversation, obviously, about, I guess we're talking about heavy movies, but Ari Aster, this movie, who's the guy? Who's the Requiem for a Dream? Now I've said too many people's names.
Darren? Didn't you say Darren Aronofsky?
Darren Aronofsky, all of this. But I think really someone that we haven't mentioned yet that this movie really reminds me of is David Lynch. David
Yes.
Lynch has a David Lynch says the explanation is the enemy. And
Hmm.
so many of his scenes are just like what this movie is like. So many of his scenes are meant to convey the emotion of what's going on or the
Hmm.
subtext of what's going on, and he's never going to end whatever the dialogue is about is not the important part of the scene. The vibe is what the important part of the scene is, and he will never explain anything that he has done, which infuriates people, and I love it.
Hmm.
And this movie is it has that Lynch refusing to explain to the audience what's going on. And you got to dig. This and Primer are tough. This is
Hmm.
tough emotionally, but this movie and Primer are both tough because you got to treat them like a puzzle. Like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared or something.
Yeah, you
And
gotta really pay attention.
it's great. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this. This was a rad flick. Yeah, I had a thrill watching it. Yeah, I got an 8.5 out of 10. Would definitely recommend
Really
folks.
like taking mushrooms and being sad.
Right.
Really a similar experience.
it reminded me of my last mushroom trip. It really did.
It is really a trippy movie. When I say it's gonna upset you or make you feel sick, I mean it. It makes me
You
feel
know,
mushroom sick.
I
Like
made
somehow it really does.
I made jokes about like being able to trip out watching a lady dance with a fucking wavy dress, but then watching this
Yes.
actually gave me
This is the
flashbacks.
actual video that makes you have a flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I've never felt so like I've started to feel like kind of like that out of body sort of experience feeling, you know. It was weird. It was a very weird, bizarre film, and yeah, and of course, viewer
It's
beware.
different.
But it's a
Yeah.
good movie. But
Doesthedogdie.com. Is it .com?
does the dog die? .com. Yes,
Really
yes.
good resource, especially because I recommend a lot of movies that basically I've had to preface everything I say when I'm talking about movies or TV with don't watch this. Here's what I felt about it. But I feel like it's just I feel like I don't recommend anything to anyone.
Mm.
Something in it's gonna upset everyone.
Well, again, you just yeah, always make sure to does the dog diet, and then just leave it up to it's up to people to do the research before they hop in
Yeah,
and watch something,
for sure.
you know. But yeah, that was a awesome movie. Thanks again, Kuya, for showing me that earlier. That was a hell of a flick, and that was a very interesting topic today. Thank you, dude.
No
That was interesting
problem.
shit. And then but yeah,
They took Thanos's woman. I would if she shows up in Deadpool first, I'll shit my pants. I
Mm.
really want to see Deadpool and Thanos interact. I think,
One,
which we haven't seen yet. Yeah.
one uh invincible being against another sort of invincible being would be kind of fascinating. Yeah, I'd be all about that. And then so I was gonna say for next week, I've been doing research about this over the past couple months, but I haven't really written anything down. It's just something I've watched like videos on and things that just really fascinated me. Um, I was gonna ask you just really quick, have you by chance ever seen this man before, or know who this man is?
Oh boy, yeah, I don't like to look at him.
Oh well, here. Well then, I'll move away for right now. I'm sorry, but yeah, we will be discussing that guy next week.
Great. I'd love
The
to hear about him.
mm,
I don't like his vibe.
no, he's a very
Something about his vibe strikes me as off.
he's a very unsettling fellow, right? But again, what's even more unsettling is the fact that a good handful of people have been noted as seeing this man in their dreams. And it became a big
I
internet phenomenon back in the like mid to late aughts, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
But but yeah, so in the name of that was the Happy Valley Sleep Survey, or Have You Dreamed This
Oh,
Man?
yeah.
There was a whole thing
Was there
about
some kind of ARG or some kind of nonsense associated?
we well, you
I
know
think
what?
I feel like, well, I guess we should save it. I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm only familiar with it as a meme. I don't know what
Mhm.
the Happy Valley Dream Survey is.
Well, connected to pictures of, and this was recorded in Portland, I believe. Portland and Utah. But again, we'll cover those properly next week. But there was a post of pictures of that man along with a phone number underneath saying, "Have you dreamed this man? If so, report this dream to this phone number." And handfuls of people ended up calling into this thing. It was basically like a some sort of call-in center, but nobody knows necessarily what exactly it was. Some people believed it was a cult. Some people believed it was an ARG. Um, but again, not many people necessarily know what it was about to this day, and that's where the interesting stuff.
Rad.
Like, where all the
I
interesting
can't wait
stuff
to hear about
lies.
it.
It's gonna be some fun stuff. But but yeah, dude, thanks again for the for renting out Upstream Color and taking the time to come up with a discussion about it. This was really awesome. Yeah, I had a blast watching it, and again, I've never felt the real like watch something that actually made me feel like I was tripping again, and that
It
movie
really, really, really
nails it. It nails it.
nails it. Insane. There's
Indeed.
so many movies that you see, CGI effects trying to convey people hallucinating, and
Hmm.
this is it. This is what
Oh yeah.
being on hallucinogenic drugs is like. Not knowing
Exactly.
anything, not knowing who you are, not knowing if someone else has your memories for some reason, like
Mm.
not knowing if you're a pig a mile away.
Exactly. There's nothing more
Exactly.
unsettling. Nothing more unsettling than not
Not knowing
knowing.
if you're a pig.
I don't know. I keep on having these weird dreams that I'm a bartender, and that shit kind of blows my mind too. But we'll go into that. We'll go into that
Interesting.
in the sleep
Okay.
study next week, right?
All right. I'll talk. I'll tell. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm dreaming about,
All right. Well, yeah, we'll have
and
some fun
and
dream
I'll, and
talk.
I, and I will talk about a dad.
Oh, and we'll have more dad talks. Well,
I
again,
don't know. I don't have one lined up, but I'll think of it. So far, we've got Azrael, Zeus, and Thanos are our bad dads we've covered so
mm,
far.
indeed. But yeah, I'm stoked for the new one. Though. I'm hoping to. I'm stoked to hear what you got for next week. But until then, yeah, thanks again for everybody tuning in. Thanks again CuyaDK for dishing out for this one. This was a very interesting topic, very interesting movie. Upstream Color. Make sure to do a Does the Dog Die before you watch it, but it's a great movie. But yeah, I'm Thrash Keishu, and this has been Thought That Was Weird. And yeah, we'll catch y'all next time. Take it easy.
Awesome.
All right, peace.